is our best-selling product in both liquid and capsule format. Capsules of Deep Immune are actually our best-selling product with our doctor clientele, our practitioners. And what this is a Qi tonic. QI is a term used in traditional Chinese medicine. It kind of is your vital energy, the energy that flows through your acupuncture meridians and your channels, activates your organs, and it vitalizes the body. And so anything that improves your level of Qi also improves your level of immunity and your level of resistance to disease. The herbs in this product are specifically meant to improve your defensive Qi, so the type of Qi that your body would require in order to protect you from invasions, what are called invasions in Chinese medicine. And that's a term they use for when you do get sick with the cold or flu. They consider that to be an invasion from the exterior. So the herbs in this product, which include astragalus, codonopsis, and others, reishi, eleuthero, do improve what's called wei qi, W-E-I, and wei qi, and is another term for this defensive qi. It helps us to protect us from getting sick. And this means primarily it's something that can be taken throughout the winter cold flu season here in Canada, or the cold flu season in any climate. But I typically suggest that people take it long term. It is also an adaptogen, similar to ashwagandha, so it does help to build general immunity and resistance and improve your ability to withstand stress without becoming sick. It also, because it improves your defensive qi, it can help to protect us from the external invasions other than just colds and flu and viruses and such, but will actually help to protect us from EMF, for example, EMF exposures. So EMF, there's a strong correlation between EMF and cancer, for example. There was a very compelling study showing that 1,600 hours of cell phone use increases your chances of a glioblastoma. It's a deadly kind of brain cancer by 40%, and that means that in a half hour of cell phone use per day over 10 years increases your brain cancer tendency. So these sorts of things can be somewhat augmented by the use of this product. We do have one of our salespeople was unable to go into certain buildings because of the amount of EMF in some buildings in Toronto. And her naturopath actually suggested Deep Immune, and she was able to go into these buildings without any problem when she started to use the product. As I mentioned, it protects from pathogens. It can also protect from pollution. And then another primary use for this is to improve the immune function in those who are receiving cancer therapy. So radiation and chemo, we know to be damaging to the immune system, and it quite often is the limiting factor in using chemo or radiation because people's immune function can't handle the amount of assault that happens to the body when they're getting these treatments. And so Deep Immune is the perfect adjunct to chemo or radiation for people who want to be able to take the chemo and not suffer on the immune level. And there have been studies, in fact, that have looked at this specific aspect of some of the herbs in this product. So, for example, this study here by Zhuang and colleagues, and published in 2011. And what this was a product, a mixture of codonopsis and reishi, which are two of the components of our Deep Immune product. And they administered this to chemo radiation patients who were being treated for breast cancer. So what they found was that it delayed or eased the reduction in the level of white blood cells that experience when people get these treatments. So in other words, they were able to go through treatments without as much effect on their immune system. This is a meta-analysis conducted by my good friends J.J. Dugois, Dougal Seeley, and company What they found was a meta-analysis looks at a whole number of clinical trials, and in this case, they examined 65 clinical trials that had been published, primarily in China, with astragalus-based formulas, and astragalus is one of the key components of this product. And what they concluded was that we found a large treatment effect of adding astragalus-based herbal treatment to standard chemotherapy regimens. So in other words, there was improved survival. People were much more likely to survive long-term if they used astragalus alongside their other conventional treatments for cancer, or astragalus containing herbal combinations. And in this case, they were looking at specifically non-small cell lung cancer. And then from the field, what we have is, as mentioned, our first 7 years as a business, we were sold exclusively to practitioners and mostly naturopathic doctors who have been using our products extensively throughout the history of the company. But exclusively in the first 7 years was for doctors only. And one of our long-standing customers, Dr. Neil McKinney, actually wrote us a nice testimonial of Deep Immune. He's a naturopath in British Columbia who also is a cancer specialist. He wrote a book called The Naturopathic Oncology. He's well recognized in the field as a specialist in cancer treatment. He lectures regularly, and he is a teacher at the Boucher Institute as a College of Naturopathic Medicine in Vancouver. He's been teaching there 13 years, and he says he's been recommended to his students for all that time. For anyone who has a poor immune system, he says it's remarkable for those getting every cold and flu going around. So you see this, people around kids, for example, if you're a teacher, or anyone who has kids, because kids bring home everything from daycare and school. Those who get lingering infections, poor wound healing, or other signs of underachieving immune system. He says it's my favorite immune support. And then he goes on to say that astragalus-based formulas are proven to the highest scientific standard to reduce harm from chemo in many large-scale university and hospital-based double-blind controlled studies. My current favorite formula is astragalus combo from St. Francis Herb Farm, also called Deep Immune formula.